Hi, I'm Todd Heitkamp, the owner of Dakota Angler here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, with this week's 2-minute fishing report. Well, folks, it definitely was a mixed bag of weather this past week with the heat and honestly ungodly heat. The humidity made it very difficult to stay out much longer than past noon. And a lot of people, the reports definitely affected the lack of people that were out fishing last week. Then the weather broke, but then as the weather broke, we also had the rain, the wind, the storms, you name it, and that definitely affected the bite. But Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, the weather was definitely more in our favor. It almost felt fallish out there, and that you could definitely see the better reports coming in on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday as well. The lakes that were producing walleyes up in the northeastern part of the state included Bitter, and it's been doing fairly well. A lot of 15 to 17 inch walleyes being caught there. Wabae, Clear Lake, Dry Lake by Clark. Also Round Lake's been producing a few, as well as Reeds, Swan, Goose, Indian Springs, and then also Horseshoe. On the southeastern part of the state, those lakes that produced walleyes the past week included Ponset, Dry Lake by Willow Lake, Thompson, and then also the thing to keep in mind with Thompson is a lot of floating debris around, and that's caused a few issues due to all the strong winds that we had this past weekend. And then also Campbell, 81 Ponds, and Sinai produced a few. And then lastly, Albert, Spirit, Brant, Madison, as well as Island. And then Missouri River continues to do really well there too, especially on Oahe. A lot of really nice fish, I should say pre-2011 type of fish. How have guys been catching those walleyes? A lot of guys are using crawlers, spinners with crawlers, or slow death with a half crawler. That's been working really well. And a lot of other guys have been using crankbaits and pulling them. And some have also gone to a little bit deeper water. But with the lakes turning green, one thing that you might want to keep in mind is especially using a jointed flicker shad. That works really well when the lakes start greening up with the algae bloom, that it really clears it up and causes a little bit more vibration. So keep that in mind over the past week, or the upcoming week, I should say. And then as far as the crappie bite is concerned around the area, that's been definitely affected by the weather. A few are being caught at Pickerel, Reeds, Ponset, Sinai, Madison, as well as Brant. And then the perch, again, have been impacted by the weather. But a few lakes have been producing consistently. Have been Big Stone, as well as a few at Kempeska, Ponset, Dry Lake by Willow Lake, and then also Albert, Thompson, and then Madison. And what guys been using to catch them? Small minnows, also small crawlers on small jigs, such as the Haley, Pilkey, and the Shiny Hiney. In this week's version of Todd's Tackle Tips, since we've been talking about crankbaits or plugs the past couple of weeks, we're going to talk about them again this week. And what do I mean by talking about them? About tuning them. Yes, every once in a while, those plugs, those crankbaits will come out of tune. Now, if you're used to dealing with Rapala, with all those plugs when they come out of the box are going to be tuned at that point in time, as well as a lot of the other plugs, such as the flicker shads. They're going to be tank tested, but not always necessarily coming out of there exactly in fine tune. And so even if your crankbait is finely tuned and it's swimming the way it should be out of the package, after a period of time, as you're casting, as you're hitting rocks, structure, you name it, eventually that crankbait will go out of tune. And what do I mean by out of tune? Where it's not swimming straight towards you. It's not, sometimes it may go off to the right, it may go off to the left a little bit swim on the side. That's when your crankbait is out of tune, and you need to adjust that. How do you do that? Well, you take a needle nose pliers, and on that little eyelet on the bill, you adjust it to the left or to the right. If this crankbait is swimming to the right, you want to adjust that to the left. If the crankbait is swimming to the left, you want to adjust it to the right. And a little goes a long ways. In other words, you don't have to adjust it much at all to get that crankbait to swim straight towards you. So what I would recommend you to do is to do a little bit at a time. If it's swimming to the right, take that needle nose, adjust that eyelet to the left, and just a little bit, and then try it again. And if it still doesn't do it, adjust it a little bit more. But again, keep that in mind. All plugs are going to need adjustment or tuning, and the more you use it. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to give us a call. Now it's time to take a look at a few photos that you sent in to me this past week. And remember, folks, if you'd like your photo included in next week's version of the 2-Minute Fishing Report, please send it to me. Send it to Todd at dakotaangler.com or post it to our Facebook wall. And if I use your photo, your name will be entered into a monthly drawing for a $25 gift certificate. And folks, before we end this week's report, I have a couple of things I want to remind you of, or bring to your attention, I should say. First off, it looks like leeches are coming to an end. Leech season is drastically being cut short due to the heat. Will still happen for maybe another week, week and a half, but again, leech season is definitely drawing to a close. And then finally, I want to let you know is with this week's Hot Buy, this week we have all rods and combos are on sale this week, online as well as the store here. If you have any questions, give us a call at 605-336-9132. Well, folks, that's this week's version of the 2-Minute Fishing Report. For Dakota Angler, I'm the owner, Todd Heitkamp, and as we say around here, fish on! We'll see you next time, and again, thanks for watching.